afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in on To The Point with the King. You guys know what to do. Find us Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. YouTube, which is hopefully where you're watching us. Please go down there, click subscribe, click like. I'm getting tired of showing off that sweater. I need to get rid of it. 750 subs. Okay. Thank you guys for enjoying us and supporting our fantastic guests, especially my man right here. Back again. The one and only Kirk. Hero.
Yes, King. Thank you for having me.
Esquire.
Esquire.
How you doing today, my man?
Good, man. Just here, happy to talk about the Raps.
Are your hands okay? Is anything broken?
Nothing's broken. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Well, speaking of broken hands or fractured, right? And if you have, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever experience a fracture, it's not fun. So, Kirk, let me ask you, since currently that Scottie Barnes, our All-Star, our Toronto Raptors All-Star, I said our, should have added a U to that, but your Toronto Raptors All-Star, okay, now that he's out indefinitely with fractured hand, right? He has, prior to him going out after the All-Star break, he's put up some numbers, man. 36 minutes per game, 16 and a half points, 10 boards, 8 assists. He was at a plus 16 prior to the injury in the game, unfortunately, against the Golden State Warriors. Since then, the Raptors have been, as my people out there in Quebec and France would say, comme ci, comme ça, right? What do you think overall Scottie Barnes' impact and to the Toronto Raptors, especially after them having to ship out OG, right? Shipping out Pascal, Boucher playing, I don't know, somewhere down in the bullpen, right? What are your thoughts on Scottie Barnes within the Toronto Raptors franchise?
Well, I mean, it sucks that he's got injured. Obviously, it's gonna delay his I guess his in-game experience, you could say. But I mean, overall for the Toronto Raptors, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna really impact them that much. I mean, to see their star player go, obviously that hurts. But I mean, if you look at their projection and where they were going this year, I know a lot of people in the Facebook groups, and I've been reading it. There's a lot of people for some reason are expecting them to do big things still this year, and I just don't understand. I don't see why or how. They just don't have the pieces. We just got a whole new look of a team. So I mean, in that respect, his absence isn't going to, make or break the Raptors. The Raptors are broken. There's no way of going about it. It's just going to affect his kind of, I guess, his in-game experience. Whatever he could have gained from that. But moving forward, we need Scottie. We need Scottie in the lineup. He's one of our better players, if not our best player. And like you said, he was playing so well. All-Star season, and it's just it sucks to see him go down, but at the same time, it doesn't really do anything negatively or positively. If you want to look at the positives, you can look at, hey, we've got some really new guys on this team, and with a guy like Scottie Barnes who is logging 30 minutes a game. Now that's up for grabs, it's time for some of these players on the bench to come out.
36 minutes a game.
Yeah, so that's up in the air. That's Grady Dick. I'm thinking about, some of the newer guys. I'm thinking.
We'll get into that. We'll get
yeah.
Into
So I mean, it's negative and there's positives. In terms of the team's projection where they're going this year. I don't look at Barnes and go, oh my God, he's out. God, now what are we gonna do? they're not gonna be a very good team. They're not a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I've been saying this for even since last year. Raptors fans, Raptors Nation, chill with all of that and your negativity towards the team. They are not built to win a championship. Okay? They could be built to contend if there were certain acquisitions made, but let's be realistic and let's face reality. Okay, unplug yourself from the matrix because this is not 2019. They what they've done is I'll tell you this much. Okay, you know, before Scottie Barnes got injured after the All-Star game, the Raptors were the plus minus over against their teams was a minus 16. Okay. Now they went 1-1, right? One win, one loss, but at minus 36 without Scottie, right? That's why I want to say Scottie's value to the team is very vital. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, he is not the second coming. Okay, nobody's opening up their Bible and finding him. Okay, but however, he is an amazing player, but the pieces around him. Now, speaking of the pieces around him that can help elevate this team, maybe within the next year or two, maybe into contention, maybe bring them back to the 2019 glory that we all felt here, like electrically in the city. Even you felt it out there in Steel Town, right? I gotta ask you, Kirk, Captain Kirk, who on this roster do you think can step up and help the Raptors keep good face within the league? I'm not saying play in tournament, okay, but to keep good face and to avoid that draft pick that they do not want to give them. Who do you think on the team can help?
Well, there's a couple of players I've been really looking at. I would say first, IQ. IQ, I think is amazing. I mean, that guy, he can create his own offense, right? So that right off the bat to me is like, okay, this guy's going to be, first or second option. And it all depends on how Scottie Barnes develops and what he turns into, what kind of player he is, right? So, IQ for sure. I mean, that guy is legit. Like I said, I've mentioned to you before, he reminds me so much of Maxey from the 76ers, man. And if you watch them, they kind of like their mannerisms and stuff like that's the same. The other guy would be Grady Dick. Now, Grady Dick, I think, could be a Tyler Hero type player. I don't know if I said that in the last podcast, but he's kind of surprising me. He's come into his own finally. He's the game has slowed down for him. He's picking his spots better. He's reading the defense a lot better, that's for sure. And that would be my game. Yeah, the last two games have been pretty bad, but I mean, rookies are going to have their ups and downs, and he's gonna have to learn. And you know what I've been noticing is when he gets scored on a lot, is when he really has really bad games. Him actually scoring, shooting the ball. So he's got to pick it up on defense like a lot. Like he's got to get in the weight room, and he's got to put on about 20 pounds. Because I see a lot of smaller guys just pushing him around. Like they're smaller guys, but they're a lot stronger.
But we've seen potential from him on defense, right? We see it in spurts here and there.
Yeah.
When we're watching.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, we see it in spurts, and that's what happens with rookies on both ends. You're going to see it on the offensive end, and you're going to see it on the defensive end. I would, if I was Grady Dick, that's the first thing I would work on is getting in the weight room. It's the only thing I would even, if when asked at the end of the season, when reporters ask, hey, what are you going to do to improve this offseason? His first things out of his mouth should be, I'm going to get in the weight room because I look like a 15-year-old dude out there, playing amongst men. I look like a little kid playing amongst men there. And if you watch him off the ball, like when somebody takes a shot and he goes in and for a rebound, guys are just using one arm to like push him away. Like it's that bad. He's got to get in the weight room. Even Tyler Hero got in the weight room. So I mean, there's no excuse. Shooters always say, "Oh, well, it's going to affect my shot." No, it doesn't. Get in the weight room. You shoot 100, 500 shots after your weight room. It's not going to affect your shot.
See, that's the thing. After hitting the weight room, I know this from experience, and I know this from being around people that have played. Like, you got to hit that weight room, and at the end of every season, you have to reevaluate yourself and see what you need. And by the way, I swear to God, Scottie must have watched me last year because I said work on a 3-point shot. The kid is killing it. I love it. Right?
You know what? And that's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see about Scottie, and see that he understands he's a student of the game, right? So a student of the game is somebody that you look in the mirror and you go, what are my deficiencies? So just you can even take some of the stuff that the media people are saying about you. Maybe multiple people are saying about you. Scottie, his whole thing was your shooting. Your shooting is absolutely atrocious coming out of college. And look, he took that and he improved it. That's a student of the game, and I'd love to see that. Now I'd love to see him work on his creating his own offense, off the dribble. Let's see if he brings that. If he brings that next year, this kid is going to be amazing. Like, he's going to have the.
That's what I've been saying. Thank you. Go on.
In and out. He's going to have the in and out game. He could go back into the weight room a little bit too. I mean, he could put on some pounds. I'm thinking Giannis, of course, at the Tecumpo. And if he does that, man, he's already a better passer and shooter than Giannis.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
So, I mean, and better handle too. So, I mean, it's going to be a joy to watch this guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like now with the absence of Scottie Barnes from the game for the Raptors, when I asked you who's the next man up, because when we look at it, Scottie was like basically the main passer, right? The main rebounder, the main scorer. Like, he was basically playing point forward and running this whole team. And what are you asking out of this kid in his third season? And he was, we could say he was excelling about it, but maybe not the pieces were there until the Raptors solidified after getting rid of some players, but bringing in some others, like him and Grady Dick. They're the youngest guys on the squad, right? Right? Maybe Justice Liberty, right? But congratulations to him. You well deserved. That's a topic for another day. But bringing in other players, such as you mentioned IQ, right? But what about RJ Barrett, bringing him home here to our country? What are your thoughts on him? Do you think he can possibly take the reins in the short period of time until Scottie gets back?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect him to somewhat do that, right? So he's pretty much a veteran on this team, and it's funny to say, like, how many years has that guy been in the league, right? 5 years, and he's a vet. 4. So, I totally expect him to at least, be a locker room guy, in the huddle guy, to kind of take charge. And it kind of seems like he does do that sometimes. And that, that's contrast to IQ, Emmanuel Quickly, where he kind of just fades away and maybe says his little word. I see RJ actually going up to guys and instructing them and pointing at the floor and huddles and stuff like that. And that's great to see, that's what the Toronto Raptors need. They need guys like that. And hopefully RJ, he just, his only problem is consistency, and that's it. He's just gotta bring it every night, and not be a 25-point scorer. Just get the stats, get 15 and 7, and 15, 7 and 5, and do that every night.
He's been 19. He's had 19 points and 3 assists.
Yeah, so if he can get his, how many rebounds do you know? Because he's a big guard.
But he is a
sorry, how many?
0.5 though.
Yeah, sorry. Did you say how many rebounds?
No. I don't have that.
Okay. No, he's a big guard, so I imagine, like, if he's not getting many rebounds.
I believe it was 3.
3, yeah. So he's got to up that by at least 2. Up his assists by at least 2, and if he can drop, even if he drops a 17 points game, if he ups his rebounds and his assists by 2, man, that's that's good. That's great.
Great
You know?
compliment to Scottie when he comes back.
Exactly. This team, I'm excited about this team, man. This team, I know that they're getting crapped on a lot in these FB forums and stuff like that, and I have no idea. I'm like, oh my God, this is the excitement that you get when you start to see guys, it's because people want them to win tomorrow. You know what I mean? They want a championship tomorrow, and it's just, it doesn't work that way. But watching Scottie develop and thinking, oh my God, what's this guy going to be like in 2 years? And IQ's still there, and then you got RJ, and then hopefully we get a big guy, and it's
Brady. You got Kelly
Brady
just signed, and
I like this team. There's still maybe a big guy away, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. The game is kind of changing. You look, I don't know if you watched the San Antonio and the Houston Rockets game with Wemby and that guy Shugan. Sugan, the center.
I didn't watch the game, but
so I mean, so Michael Jordan brought in the weightlifting era in the 90s and the 2000s. He brought it in. Everyone who was a basketball player, you had to be in the weight room, or you weren't a basketball player. And then somehow, in the 10s and whatever, people went away from the weight room, right? So players started getting more skilled, and you can see that with Wemby, right? That guy, what does he need to get in the weight room for, right? He just towers over everyone. But that's Houston center, Segan, or I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Did you see him muscle him? Like, he was just banging him out of the way.
He owned him. He just kept giving it to him.
Yeah. So there you go. He's just found out how to be a guy like Wemby, right? Now the scary part is going to be, what if Wemby starts working out? It's just because Wemby right now doesn't feel like he has to work out. I don't think anybody feels like he has to work out. He just jumps over everyone. He just leaps.
He looks like a cheese.
But that's Houston center, man. He told him, dude, you got to get in the weight room. Now we'll see whether Wemby's a student of the game or not, because he looked like a little boy out there.
I like your point, because look at when Giannis first came into the league, his size, and then look at him now, and look, MVP worthy, championship worthy. He has these accolades because
50 pounds of muscle that guy put on.
He put in the work. You can't deny that, and I agree with you 100% on the weights. And you and I talk about weight room off the screen, right? I think that is very vital. Like you said, if the dick were to get more girth, these jokes write themselves.
Oh God,
he would please everybody.
Yeah, because I mean, he grew up in the Stephen Curry era, right? All shooters, man. They went away from the weight room, right? It was all the shooting game now. But I think that Segan and Wemby, and Segan showed him how you can counter a guy like Wemby. I think people are going to start going back into the weight room now, because people are going to be looking at that and going, hey, man, I could push Wemby out of the way. It doesn't matter how tall he is.
And you know what, brother? Time's ticking. So I'll just finish off with this one. You said it. Weight room. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you take care of your personal health, your physical health, your mental health, and the gym really does help you, right? No matter what size you are, no need to feel body shame or anything like that, as long as you can better yourself, nutrition, diet, anything like that. Look at where Kirk has come from. I know you've been telling me about your progression, and brother, you're doing a great job.
I'm trying.
I told you about my progression. I'm doing a good job. It ain't easy, but hit the weight room, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your time there. Take care of yourself, your overall health, okay? And thank you for helping my overall health today by watching this video, okay?
Great message, man.
Captain Kirk, is there anything you would like to lead us out with?
Just give this team a chance. This team is going to be exciting. This team is looking good. Their projection is this way. It's not going down. It's this way. I know everybody wants them to win today. It's not going to happen. Give them a couple of seasons. You're going to see a great team out there.
Thank you, brother. And I thank you for joining me today to speak about this. And thank you guys out there for joining us to listen to us talk some bullshit. Hopefully, we gave you a good message in there and maybe like help you out with your health. So, on behalf of myself, Captain Kirk, and my man Arturas, all the way out in Lithuania, he's probably asleep right now. But, and to the point, and if you are watching, I consider you part of the To The Point family. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and